You know, I just stopped. It just dawned on me. For whatever reason, I Googled pulp, and there was a pulp at an exit on the way to Northfield Park. You might be able to hear or maybe see the windshield wipers on the car behind me. It's raining here in Ohio. It's going to rain all night. I would say amongst my least favorite weather to drive in on planet Earth. Freezing rain, snow. Actually, snow is behind rain. My second least favorite. Second least favorite, for sure. What do we got going on here, Meow? How do you turn here? There's no turning here. I got to pull one of these. Doesn't seem right. Okay. So, not very happy about the rain, but I got thinking as I pulled over, I said, you know, there were some things that we want to talk about today. The babies trained great. There was a few that we got checked afterwards. There was a horse that went to the vet. There was 4 horses last week. I just got the vet bills on 4 horses. They were a little bit higher than I thought they should be. Marshall Zukov, who's owned by my parents. Why are you beeping at me? It's a red light. Oh, you're getting beeped at. Not me. Marshall Zukov was a little bit higher than I'd hoped. The veterinarian, again, I was right. I was right. Left. There was a tiny OCD left hind ankle, but it was hidden away in behind the sesamoid. They didn't, or away from the sesamoid. They didn't think it was operable or necessary. It happens from time to time. Slim Jimmy had one of those last year. OCD there, a little bit of sesamoiditis, so roughness on the surface of the sesamoids behind. It's not uncommon. I think it's indicative of the shadow plate breed, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't had a ton of them, so maybe I shouldn't speak at a school, but I believe that was what I was getting from the vet. And then his knees were a little pinchy in the third carpal. You get that this time of year, and not really that shocking. Consider a lot of these horses worked very hard the week before. So this week was important. I want to know if they're eating. Now I'm away, but I'm getting constant updates. I want to know if anybody's not eating. I want to know if there's any oddness, any soreness, out of the blue soreness, any discomfort in any way. I need to know if anything looks out of the ordinary. Same old thing, see something, say something type deal. So the only reports I got were we had changed the shoes on Carter Michael Dio. With the flip-flops, he was almost getting up to his elbows, so we opted to take them off and just put a trotting full swedge on him. So he was only shod yesterday, so it wasn't that shocking. Johnny said he was a little different today. He said, I don't want to say he was bad or worse, different. And I said, well, yeah. He's got, the one thing about Carter Michael Dio, I will say, his feet actually, proportionately speaking, are a little smaller than, you know, for a horse that size, you'd think he'd have bigger feet. His are smaller feet. They just look at a place. So obviously when you shoe them, those walls are a little weak, I think. You just got to have to work on them, right? But he trained well. He was closing hard, and then he never offered to run, but I could feel him running in a little bit in the turns. So I want to get him looked at. They couldn't look at him today because he was pulled to stop. Regardless, there's nothing serious there. Does he need to have those knees maybe done heading into his 2-year-old season with a little polyglycan? That's possible, but that'll be up to the vet, not me. I suspect that's what we'll find. A little discomfort in the feet, probably a little in those big knees for a big boy. Dominic told me that Monday and Tuesday leaps and bounds was good. He said maybe Tuesday I saw a little something left front, and he said we poulticed it up, and he said I thought I saw it a little bit more today. Now that screams to me of a bruise coming, a pus pocket, quarter crack, something like that coming. Don't know this filly well enough. She's never had an issue with her feet at any point. Had her knees looked at today. That said splint left front. That could be what you're seeing optically. Feet to testers are a little sore, more the left than the right, more heat in the left than the right. Does she have a bruise? Don't know. Certainly not sore enough to say she's got a line or crack. Nowhere near that. Maybe a pus pocket, maybe a corn, maybe a bruise. I thought the easiest thing to do, pull the shoe off, and everybody was gone when the veterinarian had checked her over, so I left a message with Dominic. Pull that shoe off, poultice her up, cryo that splint. Give her a couple of days of butazone to take the filling out of those knees. just a little anti-inflammatory, just to help out. What my thinking is, either that flat, what I would call the flash point, would be the feet, the foot, but it's rare that it would be one and not both. That would be odd. So I'm thinking splint, two separate things. Maybe that left foot has a little corn or a little bruise in it, maybe a little pus pocket, a little gravel popping out. Splint could be playing a role, or maybe that splint was reacted because of the foot, and I think the knee is secondary to both, if not one, then both. So the butte should help with the knee, clean that out, take the heat out of it, poultice and tub the foot, and if the vet still wants to, cryo that splint, because if it's hurt now, it could hurt later on anyway. And as I said, optically, that could be most of what you're seeing is the splint. So that was leaps and bounds. I'm sure she'll be fine. No indication there's anything serious going on there. The third one, Carter Michael Dio, as I said, will get checked tomorrow. I don't expect there to be anything there. Again, I would say mild soreness in the feet, just because he's bigger than his feet. His feet are smaller than they look like they should be. Now, he's a horse you could maybe build those out if you want. What that means is they'll put a little fiberglass on the foot, build it up like a bigger hoof, and then nail through the fiberglass. So that would take any of the soreness, if there was any soreness from nailing through the feet, which is rare. But again, you got to look at the horse proportionally speaking. I think his feet are a little bit smaller than I'd like to see them for his body. That's not to say that fiberglassing would help at all if they aren't bothering. Anyway, big boy, certainly no issues, but food for thought. We did have the horses to the vet when I was gone away. Now, I got the bills a little higher than I'd like to see. Cutie Cumber's bill was quite a bit higher than I'd like to see. We're going to have a little maintenance with her. She had the OCDs out of her hocks when she was younger. One hock stays a little filled. There's nothing in there, but the vet said just where the OCDs had rattled loose a little bit, there was some soreness on the, I don't want to say the joint surface, because I don't know if that's what she said. There's a special word started with M. I can't remember. She just said it was discomfort. Took a lot of fluid out, put a little cortisone in. We went easy with her. She did not train this week, and she won't train this week. She'll be back in action next week. And I believe one ankle was bothering her. And just maintenance stuff. We cataloged all the issues that were bothering her after her, they were bothering her before too, but after the open house. So her bill was a little bit higher. Sir Strong's was under that threshold of $1,000 that we have for racehorses. I think it was $840 or something. But at the same token, knees and hocks, typical things. Changed his shoes to help out his feet and his knees. Johnny said he was an absolute monster today. That's what I want to hear. I said I had made a break. Who did I have? Tactical Mounds was just acting up. She wanted to get at them and fight, and I wouldn't let her. She was getting a little angry. She'd made a break, so was catching up on the end of the mile. But as I looked up, just looked like maybe, I said to Johnny, was he a little rolly in the turns? He said, Anthony, he said, I just had such a strong hold of him. He was just a little bumpy, but if I had to let him go, he was fine. He loves the horse, and the horse will stay here, I think, for a little bit. I really like him, too. Sir Strong, so again, maintenance stuff, nothing new. That third carpal, so the knee joints on the babies, and then those lower, what's called the TMT joints, the lower joints of the hocks, where a lot of that strain and stress comes upon. Also, a little bit of work done on them. Not a big deal. Oh my gosh, I think just his knee, no, just his feet. Just his feet were hurting him. So again, we took the shoes off of him that I had on to get him trotting good, put a set of flip-flops on him also. Mario went with him and said today, he said, I like this horse. What's the problem? Training down, he was a little bit of a mongrel sometimes, and, you know, James didn't like him, Johnny didn't like him. I liked him, he had his days, but he was sick a couple of times throughout the winter, so you can't really blame the horse. Anyway, he's starting to get good. I told you he trained good before the open house. Now, Jody said he was on the right line bad in the open house. That was a trigger. That was a problem to me. So when we had him up there, she said, yeah, a little more pressure in the right coffin joint than the left. We did his feet, put the flip-flops on him. He was straight and perfect day. Mario said, I like this horse. Nice horse. So he may end up in Mario's barn. As I said, he's an Indiana bred. How long does he stay in Canada? Well, that'll be up to him. It'll be up to him. Our 3-year-old Indiana bred started in Mario's barn too. Again, worth noting. And as I said, Marshall Zukov, a ton of work done to him. He did have that OCD in his left hind ankle. As I said to my parents, the bill was a little bit higher, but as I said to the veterinarian also, I need to know, is this going to be an ongoing thing? Because we're not paying a ton of money every 3-4 weeks to race Marshall Zukov. I'd like to get some races into him and see what we have, but we got to get him there first. So this barrage of work that we had done to him, left hind ankle, his knees, shocked both his hind ankles with that sesamoiditis. Very important to have those done. So, wait, no, there's 4. Sir Strong, Cutie Cumber, oh my gosh, and Marshall Zukov. I did look at the bills today. They were a little bit higher than I'd like, and I did speak to the vet about it. But overall, I think what was done was needed for now. Again, we're trying to get a baseline for these horses and say, okay, this is what I see in May of his 2-year-old year. Is this something that is ongoing, he or she? Is this something that is ongoing? Well, time will tell that. And if it's something that reoccurs a little bit more than I'd like to see, where it may fall outside of the purview of normal maintenance, then we may shut that horse down. But nothing I saw would make me believe that. And then today we also had Stonebridge Hecate to the vet. Now, Stonebridge Hecate does have a line in his right knee. Very important. Pay attention. Most of the lines run up and down in the knees, right? This one's laterally along the bottom at the back. It hasn't branched off. The reason we see him probably sore but not acutely lame is because it hasn't branched off to an edge yet. So the vet said, you caught it. You caught it in the right time. Our plan was get him checked. If he's good, he races out of the pool for a while. Now it'll be 4 weeks in the stall, 3-4 weeks in the stall. When the vet clears him, he can win the pool. And that's the plan with Stonebridge Hecate. We've done this with other horses. It's worked very, very well. Five Fish Species is back at the farm jogging now. She just went through the exact same treatment. So we'll keep you updated on her. But I don't think this has surprised anybody. Hecate looked like he struggled a little bit. He's trying to do the best he can. There's a horse at 1 and 2 minutes or 2-1 and looked good. This isn't new. This is something that has gradually been coming on. And he had a bad left knee last year. So we'll get these knees under control, get the horse comfortable, and get it back going. You know, it's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take us 2 months. But at the same token, I think between his breeding and what he's already shown on the track when he wasn't sound, should be a pretty good indicator of what he'll do when he is sound. It's going to be a nice horse for us, I believe. So those are the updates for today. The babies were good. I'm here in Ohio now. I'm going to race Frosty Trouble tonight. I'm going to race Slim Jimmy tonight. Tomorrow I'm going to train all the babies here. All the babies that are in Ohio are going to train tomorrow. I'm going to school Dustin Hanover. I'm going to qualify Sweet on Pete. I'm going to train Per Lucky. Big day tomorrow at the barn in Ohio. I'll have some updates for you, and maybe I'll go over the sets from today and the sets from tomorrow when all is said and done. So that is your update for today. I might give you a quick one after the races possibly, but for now, all done. I'll talk to you all very soon. Take care.